What's up, Facebook land? So I'm just checking in the office here, stopping in to check on the Legacy Developers team. And when I say the Legacy Developers team, there's only like 3 of us so far. This is my smallest team by far, but one of the most profound teams that we have. Now, when I say this, they're small because there's only 3 of us on the quote-unquote payroll, but there's multiple of us on the consultancy side, right? We're building the team as we grow. Certain people do certain things, third-party consultants, so on and so forth, right? But one of my unique abilities that I'm so proud of is the fact that I'm able to hire and find some of the best people in the business to do certain things, right? So I'm super proud of the guy I'm sitting next to right here that I'm going to talk about in a second. He's been here for, what, 2 weeks? 2 weeks? 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks he's been here. He's already managed to lock up a piece of ground. He's put out two LOIs. I think 2 LOIs, 3 LOIs. He's already managed to, I don't even know how many deals he's underwritten so far. He's learned how to, by the way, real quick background before I introduce my boy Alex here. 0 background in self-storage, 0 background, I think, in real estate in general, right? To be fair, right? He's shaking his head, yes. And just really, so one of the things that I hire off of is understanding people. Like, I really believe that, understanding drive and understanding people and understanding the ability to want to go out and be successful and those type of things is super important when hiring people. But I want to show you guys kind of the quick operation, because I think sometimes people think that you have to have this like big, elaborate operation, right? And the reality of it is, one of my favorite books is called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, right? And the name of the author kind of Mark Madsen. Mark Madsen wrote this book. And in this book, Mark talks about the do something principle, right? So he talks about the fact that so many of us need quote unquote motivation or inspiration to get things moving. And Mark says, you don't need inspiration or motivation to get things moving. You just need to do something, right? One of my mentors, Mark Evans, DM, if you guys don't know him, look him up, follow him. He's a big source of inspiration, motivation for me. Not that I really need that because I'm pretty self-driven, but Mark keeps me moving. Mark says, the art is in the start, right? The art is in the start. In other words, when you get moving, when you start doing something, all of a sudden magic happens, right? You start moving in a certain direction. You start to gain momentum. You start to gain traction. You start to gain a little bit of wisdom, right? You start to learn as you grow. You start to stumble. I figured that thing out. Let me try it again. Oh, I got a little better, right? And you start to become what you thought that you were, right? Not fake it till you make it, but getting better and better and better until all of a sudden you become that person that you wanted to become, right? Well, about 2-3 years ago, my business partner and I decided we're going to become self-storage developers. Now we've got background in construction. We've got some foundation laid in being developers. We've flipped hundreds of houses. We understand the concept of construction and budgeting and building great teams and all that kind of good stuff. But we said we're going to do this thing. We're going to go big. We're going to, in fact, now we've gotten our first deal under contract. We now have 4 deals under contract. In the next 12 months, we're going to do 8 to 10 deals. Now we need a team. Now we need acquisitions people. We need underwriters. We need investors. We need great consultants. We need the best builders in the country. We need the best designers in the country. We need the best efficiency experts, the people who are going to help us build quicker, stronger, faster, in the best budget allowable, all that kind of good stuff, right? That helps our investors. That helps our team. That helps us all stay on track and in alignment to find great deals. And that brings me to today, and that's why I want to introduce you guys to what we've been working on, give you a quick background. So Alex, spin it around real quick. So Alex, you've been here 2 weeks.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, Alex. Everybody say hi to Alex. So Alex, you've been here 2 weeks. Now, be honest with the people. I wouldn't ask you to do anything but be honest with the people, right? You've been here for 2 weeks. Guys, feel free to ask questions. What's your first takeaway from being here for 2 weeks? What's the experience been like so far?
Yeah, no, it's been good. First couple of days, of course, with anything new, you got to get a little used to it. But I appreciate how you and Brian operate. You guys are just like, hey, listen, this is what we're trying to accomplish. This is the vision.
Yep.
Now, sort of like, we trust you. Let's do this.
Yes. Yes.
With some guidance. I'm not going to say it's just like a free for all. But you guys offer wisdom, and there's a reason you guys. I like to think there's a reason you guys picked me for this team. And
absolutely.
And, I'm doing my best here to find properties that will work for us. There's a process involved.
Yep.
You know, this is sort of, as you mentioned, sort of new for everybody. There's a new vision here.
Yep.
But, you know, the main thing I've been focused on is finding properties that we think can work.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's the most important because we want to make money.
Absolutely. And we all want to make money, and our investors, us, everyone here, we all want to be involved, and we want to make sure we find great properties. Yeah. And Alex has literally been sitting here on a map, mapping out great properties, finding great land, finding good development deals, finding buildings we can rehab, so on and so forth. And just to give you guys a concept, like this is one of our first projects that we're laying out. This is a new site development that we're working on right now. 3-story self-storage, 3-story climate-controlled building, multiple 1-story drive-ups on a piece of ground that's 4.5 acres, plus a 1.5 acre pad site development piece. I just got off the phone earlier today with a site that we're doing upstate New York that will be a multiple use site that is 21 acres, actually, where we'll do about 70,000 square foot of self-storage development on top of potentially 3 different tenants. Our general contractor that's up there wants to do a sales office on that site and build a 30 to 40,000 square foot kind of steel, prefab steel building on site in order to make a sales office out of it and to make that their keystone sales office for the entire Northeast area, so that they can bring clients in and show them what that type of development looks like, what type of projects that they build inside of that office. So those are just two of the developments that we have. And this is, guys, again, vision that took some time to build, but now the momentum is moving, right? We've done something. We've the art was in the start. We started, we moved, we raised all the money for the first site, actually about 90% of it. We actually just had one of our investors got jammed up in his rollover last week. So we had some of our shares opened up, but I think we actually have some investors backfilling them and being able to finish out that fund. Getting ready to start raising money on the New York fund here in about a week, probably a week or 10 days out. So if you're interested in that, hit me up. I'd love to get involved with you guys if we haven't already. Accredited investors only, 100%. But then we'll be moving back into our next New Jersey deal, which should be done in about, or ready to be funded here in about 2 or 3 months. So, guys, 8 to 10 projects, no joke. Pay attention. I will hopefully walk you through as we progress, as we grow. I haven't been doing enough of these Facebook Lives and giving you guys enough of the background of what we've been doing because our team, I know I've been quiet on here for a long time, our team has been hard at work building this up, growing and pushing the envelope to see what we're capable of in the behind the scenes and just acquiring these great sites. So if you're interested in getting involved in joint venturing, if you've wanted to learn the self-storage game, if you wanted to learn how to develop sites like these, I'm an open book. If you guys haven't reached out to me or messaged me directly about these type of things, I love talking about this stuff. Here's another site, by the way. Flip this around real quick. I know this looks like blue lines to some of you. What a wild site this is. Wait till you guys see this next week. We're getting final renderings on what this site's going to look like. This is another approximately 80,000 square foot site that we'll be building in a highly dense residential area that we'll be looking to get approvals on, but we have big time support from the township on this one to get this one done. So we should be able to close this one in the next 5 to 6 months. And this is going to be another awesome site that's right in our backyard. So we're super excited about. So this is the next level for us, guys. We've done hundreds and hundreds of single-family fix and flips. We're transitioning out of that game. We're going big in the self-storage business. We're going big in the self-storage game. Our goal is to, again, 8 to 10 of these deals in the next 12 months, in process, in motion. It's going to take a big team around us. It's going to take, I shouldn't say a big team. It's going to take the right team that's local to us. So if this is something you want to get involved in, if this is something you have a passion about, I tell everybody when we got into this, self-storage is not sexy. I don't see this being an HGTV show anytime soon, but the numbers are sexy, right? These deals are incredible. That first deal that I pointed out to you guys, we're into that deal all in with our investors around 52 cents on the dollar. That means we're going to be just under 10 million bucks, and that deal is going to be worth about $19 million when we're all done with keys in hand, CO, and rent ready for our tenants to move in. Saturation levels are amazing. We could build 3 of those on top of each other in that area and still not meet the demand for all the people that need self-storage areas in that self-storage sites in that area. So I'm super excited about that first site. I'm super excited about all these sites we're looking at because we are super conservative about what it is we're looking at. We're only doing great deals. One of the interesting things I learned about self-storage early on is really you can kind of build them anywhere, and we don't want to just build them anywhere. We want to build them where they belong. We want to build them where they're gonna thrive. We want to build them where they're going to be great sites. And the truth is, in this first 2 or 3 years, we've actually walked away from multiple deals and lost my own escrow, my money, my due diligence, I should say ours, because it's Brian and I have partners in this deal. Our investment, our money, lost because we didn't want to do bad deals. So we're not taking every single deal down. We're putting time, effort, and due diligence into finding the right deals that make sense for us and that make sense for our investors. And to me, I think that's super important because we're building a strong foundation for what the legacy developers team is going to do not only this next year, but this next 20 or 30 years, as long as we're going to be building these things. So we'd love to have you guys along for the ride. We'd love, even if you're just watching to learn, if you're watching to get involved, if you're watching to go do it yourself, we're here for you. So thank you guys for paying attention. If you find value in this, or if you know someone else that might find value in it, just share it with them. That's all we care about. So I appreciate you guys. Have a kick-ass day. Talk soon.